What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video. Today we've got an unboxing, install and first ride of the ENGWE M20 electric bike. The good thing with this bike is that it comes with 2 batteries. That means 2 lots of 75 kilometers. That's right, 150 kilometer range. And here we go then, here it is, the M20. Obviously I've got it in white with the brown trim. There's other 2 colours. You can either have it all blacked out, or, which I think actually looks really nice, is the kind of dark green with the brown trim. Let's flip it over, get the front wheel installed. Honestly, I've never seen so many cable ties on anything, ever. First part then, handlebars, 4mm Allen key. Remove the 4 bolts from the front, rotate the handlebar around, and then reinstall. Headlights finally installed. Always frustrates me, instructions, they're just never good enough. So the next page is install the front wheel, page after that is install the front fender, but the front fender page doesn't have the front wheel on it. So surely the fender should be first, then the wheel. So let's do the fender. Need a 5mm Allen key for these. Looking at the rod, there's 2 spacers. One's a bigger spacer, one's a little one. The little one is going to go on the disc side. Moving on to the pegs. One's left, one's right. They do have a little R and L on them. Then last thing to install is the bike is still upside down. It's going to be a side stand. We've got this nice sleek dual headlight design. We've got daytime running lights, so the 2 bars at the bottom, and then you've got the 2 nodules at the top, which is going to be your kind of full running lights. There's a button on the left hand side. When the full lights are on, you can then slightly push it, and you can do like a flash and pass, or if you want to turn them off, push and hold the button and then it turns off. When the daytime running lights are on only, when you do either of the brakes, front or rear, the brake light turns on. Apart from that, it's off. If you push and hold the main lights and turn them on, that's when the brake light turns on. Well, that's the rear running light. And then when you actually pull the brakes, it gets brighter. We've got a 7-speed Shimano hand gears, usual push bike style. Top ones to go down, bottom ones to go up. Get a little LCD screen on the left hand side. Button on the top, push and hold to turn the bike on and off, and then there's further 2 buttons underneath on the left and on the centre. And then to change the speed of what the throttle accelerator will go up to is the buttons underneath. You push them and then you get a little go from 0 all the way up to 5, and when it's on 5 it will go up to kind of like 45 kilometers an hour. Front suspension, we do have adjustments on the compression side and a little red lever on the top right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to 13 different settings that you can do on the fly. Looking at the batteries then, they are both the same. You do get 2 keys per battery, and to release them there's a key slot on the left hand side, and they literally just slide on and off, super easy to install. And then looking at the batteries themselves, on the front edge there's a little button, push that and then it tells you the battery strength. E is red, F is full, and we're currently sitting at 4 out of 5 bars. Looking at the right hand side of the battery, we've got a USB slot in that first little waterproof cubby hole. We've got the normal entry point for the 3-pin charger, and then we've got an on-off switch on both batteries. So that means that you can choose to have one battery or the other, or both going at the same time. Being 6'1", quite tall. My only potential concern is that the seat is not adjustable. It is a fixed seat. Obviously the handlebar, you can rotate it as well to kind of bring it up or lower, depending on how you want to ride it. I'm probably going to rotate them round a little bit more, because at the minute the levers are quite high elevated, on the levers kind of down a little bit more. One thing to note as well, the rear suspension, there is no adjustment. The only adjustment is the compression on the front. Let me know what you think of this dual motor M20 then. Now, they recommend charging any new batteries for 4 to 6 hours. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna charge it, and then tomorrow we'll take it out for the first test ride. And here we go then, this is the M20 in its full glory. Let's not forget, this is obviously the white with those 3 total color options. Me personally, like I said, I think the green looks really, really nice. Obviously, I've put both batteries on. They are now fully charged. One thing to note, I'm in the UK and these come with the European 2-pin plug, so I had to buy an adapter so I could charge these up. A little bit annoying. What I like is the fact that you can choose if you want both batteries on, or if you want to save some battery and some distance and turn one battery on at a time, just to get your full 150 kilometer range. But me, bigger, heavier onset guy, I'm gonna leave both batteries on and have them both turned on at the same time. Looking at the suspension on the front, obviously I said there's multiple clicks. All the way to the left is going to be the softest, going to have the most bounce, and all the way to the right is going to be the stiffest. So have a little play around, see which works for you. One thing I'm not particularly keen on with this bike, I'm 6'1", and the rear seat, 2 things. Rear seat is fixed, it can't go up or down, which means I'm in this fixed position. The only thing I can adjust is the handlebars themselves. And secondly, the seat feels quite far back from the handlebar, which means naturally I sit a little bit further forward, which then means the rear of the battery ends up hitting my crotch. I think the main thing for me would be to see some form of adjustment in this so I can raise it up, because when I am pedaling around, with the peg in its highest position, the knee is actually above my hip point, which means my knees are coming up quite high. So it's not the most comfortable bike for a man of my size to ride around. The easiest way I can describe it is it's like riding a BMX bike. Turns out actually it might be a little bit more comfortable standing up. If you are shorter, this may be better for you. I will try and get Zoe out. She's 5'4", 5'5", and we'll see what a different height structure on this bike feels like from her perspective. But yeah, just wish I was able to raise the seat up just a little bit, just to bring my hip and my knee kind of more level rather than my knee higher. I'm pretty sure as well, if you want, on the ENGWE's website, you can buy a rear rack, so you can obviously carry some luggage as well. Remember to turn the batteries on, obviously red button on either side, turn that to the line, so that means they're on. Push and hold your LCD screen, activate it, and then from there, just twist and go. And this is what I mean by the knee to hip ratio. Well, that's enough on the grass. All you need to know is, yes, this can handle grass, hard packed mud. So if you did want to take it some form of off-road, you definitely could. And then on the road, I'm in gear 5. I am pedaling. Gear 7 now. And yeah, 30 kilometers an hour. I'm just going to stop pedaling altogether. 33, 34 kilometers, 35. I'm 115 kilos and 6'1". Like I said, not small. Body flies. Not small, not light. But 35 kilos just on the throttle. It's pretty impressive. The good thing with this as well is the turning circle. It's super tight, as you'd expect. So if you wanted this in town, easy to filter through any form of traffic. But then on the weekends, you want to take it off-road and do a bit of cutting through the woods, then you can. One thing I do like with ENGWE is when you go on their website, they've got a lot of different style bikes. So just because this one doesn't suit my size and my frame, doesn't mean that you can't go on their website and find a bike that does. Same with an adjustable seat, for me, would be the minimum I'd be looking out for. I love the fact that this has got 2 batteries. You can turn one on, and like I said, to get 150 kilometers or 75 kilometers of pure speed. Looking at the suspension whilst doing a bit of grass, a bit of off-road, like I said, I like the fact that you can easily adjust the front suspension just to fine-tune it and make it suitable to how you want to ride. The rear, there actually is no adjustability, so it kind of is what it is. Overall though, it's not too bad, even with someone of my size. And you can still get 30 kilometers an hour off-road. And dropping down curbs, no dramas whatsoever. If you want to pick yourself up one of these, there will be a link to a website in the description box below. If you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you to ENGWE for sponsoring this video. Until the next time, ride safe.